Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Live from Texas, USA, it's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Coming up, we check in with Brad Thompson at God's Garage about the big Tailpipes and Tacos fundraiser cruise-in. Mr. Mars has the Toyota Highlander. He'll tell you about it. And we'll also have the events calendar, along with stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I am Don Armstrong, and we thank you for joining us on this Saturday at a different time today because I had another obligation with my full-time job.
You're flying about.
With my full-time job this morning, and so with a big, Ford tournament in town, a lot of stuff going on, very busy downtown area. So I did that this morning, and so we decided to just hold off on the show and do it a little differently and be on the air at a different time today.
A little bit later.
Everyone slept in. It was kind of odd getting up on Saturday. Well, you didn't, but I did, and I'm thinking something's not right.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Got to sleep in a couple of hours.
Well, joining us now from God's Garage and the Tailpipes and Tacos hero is Mr. Brad Thompson. Brad, good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you today?
Well, we're doing fine.
Good.
Look at the shop. It's all come together. It looks like a big manufacturing facility there.
Man, I tell you, we got 5 lifts up. The alignment rack's sitting over here waiting to get bolted to the floor and calibrated. So, it's kind of like that moving into that new toolbox. This just takes a little while, So we've got little things that still need to be done, and I don't know if you can see it up high, but there's an air conditioning unit going in up there on the shop. Remember us?
Yes.
Wanting to get that? So we actually had a donor come through and donate enough money to pool together with some other donations, and the guys in the shop are thrilled. It's not on yet. It should be running next week.
That's just great. Well, we're so glad that there's some success going on up there with the new facility, and things are looking up for God's Garage. Why don't you tell the folks that are joining us for the first time today, since we're doing this at a different time than we normally do, what is God's Garage and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so God's Garage, well, you just did it on a promo, and I can't do it with your voice, so, but
that's
God's
what I
Garage.
wanted to hear your voice tell us about it.
Yours is much better than mine. So God's Garage, we're a 501c3 nonprofit up in Conroe, just on the east side of downtown. We've been around informally since 2010, formally as a nonprofit since 2016. We take in donated vehicles. So you see all of the, the billboards, the radio ads, donate your car. Hopefully every once in a while you stumble across one of ours. But we take in donated vehicles, running or not. We fix them if we can. We get them very roadworthy, have them inspected, do the whole checkout on them. And then we give them away to single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military, and mostly in the Houston area. And then we also will service the cars that belong to that same group of ladies. So not only do we give away cars for free, last few years we've averaged right at 100 that we've given away. We've serviced right about that many every year. Last year was a little slower, but we also ask these ladies to go through a life skills training. So most of them, are just doing everything they can to get by. And their stories are incredible. And you guys will get to hear one of those at the Tailpipes and Tacos here in a couple weeks. But most of them are just kind of missing the general budgeting, writing a resume, a lot of the things that kind of will help them get a little bit ahead of where they're at now.
The stuff that we take for granted that we all know, they don't necessarily know. And not for no fault of anybody's, other than the fact that they just happen to be in a place in their lives that they're not able to do that for themselves.
Absolutely. So, and here we are Saturday. I don't know if you can see Jared walking around behind me. We have volunteers that even come up on Saturdays. We're typically open Monday through Friday, kind of general business hours. Last year we had, I think, 126 different volunteers throughout the year.
Wow.
So, it's impressive, and it's neat now that we've got the new shop and we're not crunched into a little shell of a building down the road and messing with all the dirt and dust and everything. Some folks are starting to come back that left before, where there just wasn't enough elbow room to really do anything. And you can see now, we've got a car sitting in the middle here. We've got so much room. So so we can run them in and out of that big center door in the back or all the 6 bays on the side.
So tell everybody about the deal that you cut with Stan Holt and Loopy Tortilla out there in Katy and Tailpipes and Tacos.
Well, it came about because of you guys. So thank you again. But you introduced us to Stan, and Stan is an amazing guy. I've never met him until I got to meet him through you, but we're going to be the sponsor organization, or we're going to be the charity of choice that Stan has on Tailpipes and Tacos. So as people come out and go to the event and buy tacos, the donations they give will come to us instead of go to him, which is amazingly generous. We had a grand opening here. We had 220 people, and he fed everybody. So, he's been amazing, and we just look forward to doing this with him. And I heard your promo kind of spoiled it, but so hopefully our car recipients not listening to your show right now. But we're going to give a car away that weekend. And if you know about this, if you show up and you know about this, do not say anything to her, because she will not know that's actually what's happening. She's going to think she's going to be talking to you guys about the hardships of not having a car. And when we do some of these giveaways we want everybody to kind of see everything we get to see, we don't tell the recipient they're about to get their vehicle that day. They think this is the last step that they go through. And we're going to have her car on site. Now, when we're done, she's going to have to go to the title office and get insurance, so she doesn't get to just drive it home that day. We have a process that we go through, but don't say anything to her.
You're not going to hear anything.
No. It's a secret.
It's a big secret.
Turn the volume down. I think one of the cool things you guys do, besides just give away the cars, which is cool in and of itself, is to educate those recipients on these life skills you talk about. I always wondered why the school districts aren't teaching budgeting and writing checks and stuff, the simplicity of things that I trust my wife to do, because I don't. But the fact that you guys are doing it, I think is adding over and above what's going on with just the car that you're giving away, because you're not just giving them a car, you're giving them an opportunity to improve their future.
And one thing, too, Brad, that you didn't touch on that I'd like for you, too, is the fact that you guys vet these recipients of cars very rigorously. And there are certain things that they have to do and certain criteria that they have to meet to become eligible for the cars. Give us a brief overview of that.
Yeah, so they can't, you're right. And, we amazingly, so where are we, March? We have vetted over 500 people already this year.
Wow. Holy cow.
So ever since, this ministry's always gotten a lot of attention, especially on the north side of town. But it seems lately it's really started to pick up. And we used to average about 110 applicants a month. Now last year we had 150 a month. So, if you look at, we're giving away, hopefully this year, if we can get more donations, which is actually our bottleneck right now, is just the sheer number of cars that get donated to us. But if we get enough donations, we'll give away easily 150 cars this year. But if you think about that, we're only giving away 1 month's worth of applicants. So we have volunteers, all ladies. They do an amazing job for this. We actually are set up with some systems where they can do it for us remotely, but they will get in. They will make sure that this person doesn't have a car already, because that's one of our criteria. We have a criteria on how much income they can have presently. Over a certain threshold, we don't deem them to be, in need of a car from us. And then, they have to be single. They have to be a single mom. So that means you have to have a child 17 or under living with you. And believe it or not, we can find most of this out. Some of it's public database searches. It's looking at Facebook pages, but it's a rigorous process. And I don't even know how they do it. I know we've gotten more ladies doing this now than we ever have. I literally have no idea how they get that many.
Brad, where do the volunteers come from?
Churches, areas, car groups. Jared's a student. Jared, how'd you find out about us? Oh, I don't know. I guess he left the building. He's a student. He rides a sport bike up here. So, it just comes from all over the place. And one other neat kind of source you wouldn't normally think of, but people in Montgomery County. So Judge Wayne Mack is the Justice of Peace in Precinct 1 in Montgomery County. He's a great friend of ours, spoke at our grand opening. And we have we're kind of one of the places where folks that have to do community service can choose to come do community service with us.
Oh,
nice.
fun.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So
that's great.
They'll come here. They'll have X number of hours. I know Jared's not one of those guys. So,
Okay.
But we get guys that they've got 400 hours of community service. So they'll come up here and they'll be here 8 hours a day helping out one of the guys that's been here a while, or cleaning stuff or moving things around. So, man, the sources are all over the place.
Well,
that's cool.
That's great. How can our viewers, our listeners, get involved in God's Garage and be one of the volunteers?
So you can get on our website. There are buttons for donates and applications and volunteer. We will vet you. We will run a background check on you to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe and everybody that's here. Have to remember, we deal a lot with women who've had a lot of trauma in their lives. Sure. Generally. Yep. So we protect them very, very rigorously here in making sure we know who our volunteers are. But you can also just stop by. We're just on the east side of Conroe, 2100 East Davis. If you're in the area, you can come by and just fill out an application. And then we have an orientation. Obviously, we're putting cars up on lifts and using drill presses and things. So we have safety training, and we've done a really good job of keeping folks safe. We also need delivery drivers or pickup drivers. We have 2 trailers and trucks, and we pick up just about all of the vehicles that get donated to us. COVID year, we picked up 399 vehicles.
Wow.
During COVID in 1 year. So while everybody was home sick of that car in their driveway going, can we just get rid of this? So we picked up every one of those. Volunteers did.
And those that you deem that they're really not fixable or not worth fixing up and putting money into, what do you do with those? Sell those off?
Yeah, America's Auto Auction is literally 2 miles down the road over here on 1483 or whatever FM number that is. So if they're really bad, I mean, if they don't run, they got a blown engine, blown transmission, and we drag them out of a field because they've been there for 3 years with the windows open 2 inches.
Sure.
We don't even bring them here. We take them straight over there. They actually have a designated area where we come. We don't even have to tell them. We just show up and drop the cars off, and then we'll send them the paperwork on it, and they'll run it through the auction.
Interesting. Very interesting. So everything is all above board and transparent up there, and anybody can find out about anything they want to about God's Garage. Because, these days you kind of are a little bit skeptical with anything that comes with, giving away stuff. I know that down the street there's a clothing box, if you will, that people donate stuff, and they donate all sorts of stuff. And I've seen people rummaging around some of the stuff that wouldn't fit in it, and you're going, no, that's not what it's there for, And so
is that where you got that shirt, Don?
That's where I got the shirt. Yeah, exactly.
Says the man with the pink shirt on.
Thank you very much.
Busted.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's that.
So Don, there's an organization called GuideStar. I think recently they changed their name, but they are specifically in business to validate and verify that nonprofits do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And we have the highest rating. It's called Platinum rating. So we are Platinum rated through GuideStar. So that's a really good, important thing to think about, whether you support us or support one of the other ones. There's places online where you can go search and look for the rating. It's on our website, the little seals on our website. But we take the financial end of this business very, very seriously.
Brad, what would you say to somebody that is debating on who to give their car to? Because we have a global audience, believe it or not. But more specifically, I mean, we've got people that are listening down in Alvin or down at Surfside, all the way over to halfway to Timbuktu out on the west side.
Exactly.
What would you say to somebody that is looking to donate a car, and as opposed to bringing it to somebody else, bringing it to you?
So we can pick up cars anywhere. We can go. We've picked up cars in California where people have said, "Hey, we want to give a car to you." That car doesn't come to us. So there's a national service called NCS that we use that will go pick up donated vehicles. And most of these, when you see kids dancing in the street in the commercial, but they don't really tell you what they're doing with the money, most of those organizations farm out all of their pickups to NCS, which is why we do our own. if it's a car in Alvin, let's say, good example, or Surfside or Galveston, we try to stay within about an hour of Conroe. But if the car's in good enough shape, it runs, and we know it's one we're going to give away, we will go get it. I've gone to Austin before and picked up a BMW M3 that I was hoping was in better shape than it was when I picked it up. But we'll go get them anywhere. If they're too far away, if you get really too far away and it's a good running vehicle, we'll send that over to NCS, the collection service, and they'll go get it for us.
Nice.
Interesting. So they get it and then they bring it to you?
No, so okay. Well, it depends. If it's far enough away but local to the NCS service,
right.
We every once in a while might get them to come back here. But if they're in San Antonio or Austin, or Brazoria, which is just kind of out of our reach, or Louisiana, we get a lot of those. They take them to an auction,
okay.
Which.
And then they turn around, pay you a fee. You have to pay a fee, but then they give you all the proceeds out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
right. So they take out the towing and their service fee and a few other things. But if it's a good running vehicle, literally if it's a little more than an hour, we'll typically go get it. I mean, we salvage 65% of the vehicles we take in, sometimes even more.
So, Brad, let me ask you this. You say you collect them and you go through the vetting process of the deserving individuals. You're not looking for a two-door Miata. You need a family-type vehicle, correct?
Oh, we'll take a two-door Miata. I'll turn it into a Lemons car. No, so, yeah, we actually... We had somebody recently donate a two-door Ford Ranger that was a stick. We can give those away, but we're careful to vet the applicant to make sure they're okay with that, because sometimes we give them to widows, and the widows don't necessarily need a back seat. So it's not always just single moms. We almost always want to probably have a four-door car. Widows and wives of deployed military, a lot of those we can give them just about anything. But man, if you've got a Toyota or a Nissan minivan that's 2008 or newer, man, we'd love to talk to you.
C5 Corvette?
No.
Thanks, Don.
No, I actually, mine's not here right now, and I know Don's not ready to give his up. So.
No, I'm not. I'm ready to go gather it up from Mr. Thompson down there at Apex Auto Works, because he's put a new clutch in it for me, and so
nice.
I'm going to gather that up this afternoon. Well, Brad, it's always great to talk to you. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. That's going to be at the Lupi Tortilla, Tailpipes and Tacos. And the only one is out in Katy, where the event is going to be held, and that is just south of I-10, the Katy Freeway, right at 99, the Grand Parkway.
And the Kingsland exit.
Kingsland Boulevard, yeah. And so we will see you there. We're going to be broadcasting live from 8 to 11 that day. It's in 2 weeks from today.
Shh. We'll try and keep your secret. We will keep your secret.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful. You never know who's tuning in.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. It'll be great to see you in a couple weeks. And we'll see if we can maybe bring some swag that we can sell or something. We'll figure out something.
I know you will. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Brad.
All right, thank you.
Events calendar time. Conrad has the events calendar for the day. I know you were ready for that.
Yep. So, again, tomorrow is Coffee and Chrome at the Avalon Diner right off of 59/69 and the 90 intersection at the south end of the Fountains Shopping Center.
Correct.
There's a car cruise-in tonight in Montgomery, Texas, and it's an open car cruise-in. 943 Eva Street, and that starts at 6 p.m. Also 6 p.m. tonight is Classic Cars of Brazoria County cruise in at the Lubies in Lake Jackson. Tonight is the Dayton Cruisers monthly street meet in Dayton at 5 p.m. There's not much in Dayton, so it should be easy enough to find it. It's right off of Main Street. And then the Brookshire Brothers cruise in Montgomery, Texas is 5 p.m. tonight. Wharton Cruise Night at the Domino's Pizza is tonight at 6 p.m. Tomorrow is Woodlands Coffee and Cars for a Cause at 9595 Six Pines Drive in the Woodlands, and I'm sure Weldon will be there, and that the donations taken there are given to local Montgomery County charities, and that's actually been going on for quite some time. Cars and Coffee at the Aggie Land Outfitters off of 303 University Drive in College Station is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. is Classic Cars and Coffee at Donuts at the Whitehall Cafe in Navasota. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. is at Rosenberg at Avenue H, 5138 Avenue H in Rosenberg, Texas. And they'll have an instructional class there.
What are they going to instruct you on?
Detailing your car.
Okay. Because you didn't point that out.
And the Craft Beer Cellar Car Show.
What?
Craft beer and cars go together so well. At 11734 Barker Cypress Road, which is kind of up near me. And that's tomorrow at noon. And that's it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars had a chance to drive the Toyota Highlander. Boy, you know, one of the things I have to say about that, it started off as such a right-sized vehicle. Now it has turned into this huge SUV.
I was talking to my wife the other day about that. The small cars, because we saw a Toyota Corolla going down the road, and how much bigger it is now than what it was when we were putting our kids in one of them so many years ago. And the Highlander's the same way. So it's like the bigger cars have gotten smaller, and the small cars have gotten bigger.
Yep.
And it's kind of
Well, yeah, the Honda Civic now is about the size of the Accord back in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so we're going to talk about the 2023 Toyota Highlander. Actually, it is the hybrid series, and it is available in 5 trim levels now. You can actually get the hybrid in all 5 of them now. The LE, the XLE, the Bronze Edition, the Limited, and the Platinum, which is the top of the line, which is what we had, and it is an all-wheel drive version. So this is the 4th gen of the Highlander that was introduced in 2020. So it is a mid-size SUV, like Don said. It's gotten bigger. It is a 3-row with a small 3rd row. Is the only way I know how to describe it politely over the air. So outside of it, it's got a lot of nice features on it. It's got LED lighting up front, adaptive headlights, auto leveling, which I really have come to love that, LED fog lights, the rain-sensing wipers that Conrad was talking about earlier.
When are you going to open up that cheap wallet of yours and actually buy a new car?
Get Becky something new to drive.
Her car's only got 80,000 miles on it. It's
Only
not even
has
broken
80,000.
Time
yet.
to get rid. Anyway,
It's
go
time
ahead.
to donate
her
it
any
to God's
ideas.
Garage.
It's got heated, power folding side mirrors, and it's got a moonroof.
You know we love jacking with you, Mars.
I'm trying to keep
Right in the middle of your
trying to keep going.
car review.
It's got a hands-free lift gate, and it's rolling on some nice 20-inch alloy wheels on it.
Becky, are you listening? You're getting a new car.
I hope not. So inside of it, again, top of the line trim level, leather seating surfaces. The front seats are heated and ventilated. The second row are captain's chairs, which are also heated. Now, this thing has got a 12.3-inch touchscreen in the center stack.
That's
where you're
big.
going to find all your convenience controls, all your radio, everything in there. Easy to find. Got buttons to work with.
Reruns of Highway Patrol.
I bet I could find it if I looked hard enough.
Mayberry RFD.
Now, it's also got a 12.3-inch gauge cluster. So you've got these 2 large monitors there to work with. And it's got a 10-inch heads-up display. So you've got lots of room to look at stuff here.
We're looking.
JBL audio with a subwoofer and an amp with 11 speakers. So it really will
blow you out of there.
It will. But one thing we talked before about was the Bluetooth chargers where you just lay your phone on it. This thing has got a shelf underneath that center stack. It's just big enough to put your phone in. It sets in there nice and tucks in nice and easy. Works well. It's easy to reach. You don't have to jack with nothing. It's one
Does
of
it
the best
have a
layouts.
vibration function to it?
No. Didn't get it to vibrate. Tried. So up under the hood to make all this go is a 2.4-liter ICE engine. Produces 186 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. And so put it all together, and it'll come up with about 243 combined net horsepower with the electric motor setup. Now, it's got 175 pound-feet of torque. It's backed up by an ECVT. Now, surprise to me, this thing will tow 3,500 pounds, kind of like your car you were talking about earlier at 4,000.
It's a lot with a CVT.
I thought it was quite a bit. So the EPA says in the city you should be looking for 35 miles to the gallon, 34 on the highway, 35 combined.
What?
Now,
Say that again.
I got
What's so
30.
funny?
Wait.
I got 33.5 across the 431 miles that I drove it.
What's so funny?
Nothing. I've got my notes up here where I can read them nice and easy. The thing I did like about driving this, it does have 5 drive modes. A couple of them, I'm not sure why.
Does it have a lookup mode?
It's got sport, eco, normal,
Just make
EV.
something up, Mars. It's okay.
I'm trying. So it's got smooth power transition between the EV and the gas engine. I was really surprised. It's quiet, and with the windows rolled up, you can't tell when it makes a change. It always started for me in the EV. So when you went to get in it and you got ready to go, you can't hear anything, even with the windows down. And then, of course, once you get going, then it kicks over to the ICE engine, and you're good to go. And you can kind of tell it, but the windows up, you don't hear nothing. And I was really impressed with that. Got a nice plush ride on it. It's not floaty. It's not like a land yacht. But, of course, it's not a race car either. Now, the base trim price on this car is $52,425. Now, that's at this trim level. Now, you can get a base model. I was surprised, of the Highlander Hybrid for $41,555. Now, our as-tested price, $54,185.
How much?
$54,185.
Okay, it's not too bad.
No, I didn't think it was bad at all. Now, if you're looking at something to compare it to, you look over at the Kia Sorento Hybrid. This is my wife has the Sorento, and this would be the one I would look at, but it starts at $36,690, which I was very surprised at. Now, your Ford Explorer Hybrid, which is a larger vehicle, actually, is $47,070, and a Hyundai Santa Fe is $42,410. These are all base models to compare them straight across, and then you have to step up to the Platinum models.
Well, the other thing about Toyota, their Synergy drive, they've built millions of them through the years. So when you talk about the smoothness of the transition between the ICE and the hybrid system, that's why it's so good, is because they're so well experienced with it.
Yes, and it really was. I was really surprised. I'm like Don. I've driven these, from several years back. Got an aunt and uncle that had one. Everybody loved them, but this is a big step up.
Yeah, you may want to redo that review.
Maybe not.
Might be a few edits in it.
No, don't give you edits in it.
Nah, I was pretty good once I got my notes where I could read them.
You can see past
Got
the
it.
top.
All right.
There
I
you
want to
go.
remind you that the In-Wheel Time Car Talk, here's the question that we've all been pondering for decades, and that would be how to find a barn find.
Okay.
Jeff has the answer.
Well, I'm going to get Conrad started here. Conrad, I was
So
going to
you're
do
looking
hit the
at
space
barn.
bar.
Yeah, you're gonna let him do
I'll
that?
let him do it.
God.
So
my
these
God.
days, we use the term barn find to describe any found automotive treasure that's been hidden away for a long time. But it doesn't have to be stuffed in a literal barn or anything like that to find a car or truck. Field found cars and trucks are numerous, and there are some real treasures out there waiting to be saved from eventual ruin. Geography plays a role. For example, cars left outside in Arizona are going to fare better than cars left in a place like Michigan or on the East Coast.
Right.
You would think that by now the hidden treasures are all found. There are stories from time to time of some cool car being buried in a garage, sitting in a field, or hiding in an actual barn. Many of these cars aren't super rare or in great shape, but every once in a while you truly find one that is a buried treasure. They're still out there, so keep looking, people. The country's big enough that there's hiding spots all over the place, treasures at every little corner, and it's the thrill of the hunt. Most times, a single vehicle, but not always, you can find collector cars. Passionate gearheads, such as the horde of Pontiac Trans Am Conrad that was found in Kansas. Barn finds are not committed to agricultural structures from which they are named barn find. The key is to look in locations that have large amounts of area to absorb a car or a truck. The properties haven't been changed hands in decades, and in an area where the cars used to go, don't go anymore. Today, that could mean warehouses, storage lots, the top or bottom floor of a parking garage, retirement communities, or even a private airplane hangar. We know some folks like that. And, of course, the dirty field, out in the field. Keep in mind that certain geographic regions are more target-rich than others. Check this out. Considering looking in a 20-mile radius of a drag strip, a racetrack, a military base, or an automotive assembly plant. That's where you're going to find them.
Oh,
An
interesting.
assembly plant.
And this automotive
See, I never
assembly
thought
plant.
that.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest finds have been in some of the salvage yards in and around Detroit. because as the manufacturers would dispose of some of their old show cars, these cars were parked in some of these salvage yards in and around Detroit that were later found and restored.
Yep.
So that'd always be a great place to look. But there was just recently a big story about a RSSS 396 Camaro, 69 Camaro that was found. That was part of a family-owned thing. Just been sitting in a garage forever.
Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com.
But we don't show all of the video.
Not all of it. 30-minute podcasts are at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier car cruise-in returns Saturday, April 15th to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. Bring your hot rod, classic, resto mod, or any other vehicle you'd like to show and compete for one of 3 highly coveted chili pepper trophies. This April 15th kickoff event is one you'll want to put on your calendar because 100% of the money you donate for the free tacos will be given to God's Garage. You heard right, free tacos. Whatever you decide to give, all of it will be given to God's Garage and matched by Lupi Tortilla. God's Garage gifts vehicles to single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military in the greater Houston area. In fact, the Garage will gift a vehicle to a mom in need at this special event. Be sure to attend the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, April 15th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Free breakfast tacos for any donation to God's Garage. It'll make your heart and your belly feel good.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, April 13th through 15th at NRG Center. Featuring 2,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, exotics, customs, and more. Broadcast live on Motor Trend TV and Motor Trend Plus. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.